Welcome to the Smiles Ahead podcast, powered by Burrow, Welchel, and Culp Orthodontics, where we answer your dental and orthodontic questions so you can be better prepared when you come into the office. I'm Dr. Sam Burrow, teacher, author, and award-winning board-certified orthodontist, here to answer some of your frequently asked questions. Welcome back to the Smiles Ahead podcast, powered by BWC, where we answer some of your common questions. So this week is going to be the popular question of retainers. And more specifically, do I have to wear those the rest of my life? And like I said, in all of these, they're only going to be about 8 to 10 minutes long. We'll keep them nice and short, but I will tell you the answer right off the bat. So in the first minute, if you don't want to go through the whole process, you can at least get your answer. And the answer is yes. We call it nighttime for a lifetime. So that means as long as you want straight teeth, you need to have something in there holding it. And that doesn't even mean if you had braces in the past. So what we see a lot is people will come in and say, you know, I've always had a perfect smile. And in the last couple years, the lower teeth are shifting around. The bite doesn't quite feel right. And eventually that's going to happen. So, depending on the person, depending on the genetics, the bite, all sorts of different things. But eventually, like everything else in our body, things will move and it will require you to hold something. Now, the good thing is if you get in early, so say you were one of those types that never had braces, but you kind of felt something moving around, but not enough to go full throttle into orthodontics, there are the options of just saying, okay, now give me some retainers. I'll wear them a couple nights a week to maintain what I have so it doesn't get worse. The worst thing you can do is simply ignore the problem. Like in most cases, it just snowballs into a worse issue that's going to require comprehensive treatment in the future and that type of thing. So if you're noticing something small, come on in, let us check it out. Now, for those in braces or about to get braces or just question the whole retainer process, the good thing is there has been a lot of positive changes. So I can tell you what it was like for years and years and years. Even when I started practicing, it was get your retainers off. Get your braces off. Make your retainers. Here's your set of retainers. Wear them the rest of your life. Good luck. Well, if you're 13 or 14, that means you got to get through high school. You got to go to possibly college with them. You got to do multiple moves with them. So there's a lot of stuff in there where life can get in the way and make it very inconvenient to wear retainers. So what we can talk about is how we have challenged that problem. Now, we have a few other videos about Retainer Club that go specifically more into what that is. But essentially what we can do now in orthodontics is we can get a digital scan of the actual teeth. So when you're done with braces, instead of that moldy stuff that everybody choked on and hated, you simply get a little digital wand. It gets exactly where your teeth are when your braces come off. So the exact point of what we always want. That then goes up into the cloud. A retainer is made off of that. So we have some good technology where a really, really great fitting retainer is made, sent directly to your house. But the cool thing is we now have that digital scan up in the cloud. So if you're in Retainer Club, that if you're like in our office, you get automatically enrolled into it. And it's a great program for a couple different reasons. But in this case, the most valuable part of it is convenience and time and just having the ability to get a replacement retainer. What we found over a number of years is it wasn't that people didn't want to come back in after their dog ate it or they threw it away at Wendy's and couldn't find it in the trash can. But they wanted to come in and said, oh yeah, I need to come in and see the orthodontist. But life happens. And you're going, well, I'll schedule next week. And then 2 months happen and you're sitting at dinner and you notice that the tooth has shifted even more. Oh, I need to get in. And, schedules just collide. So what we have figured out that if you could simply go on your smartphone, click an app, and have one show up at your doorstep from exactly how your teeth were when your braces came off, you're golden. Because right when you lose it, you can jump on there. It's there within 5 to 7 days. Your teeth aren't going to shift too much during that time. You put them in, you wear them a little full time, get them back where they need to be. Now you're nighttime wear only. Another great thing, because it is digital and because we have so much technology, the cost is so much less. So you're looking at like $50 an arch, so total like $100 for upper and lower retainer replacement, where it used to be upwards to $400 to $600 depending on the type of retainer. So not only is it convenient, but it gets you retainers at a great fit and great price. So all the stuff that has been hindering people getting replacements, we're trying to solve for. Another big one is what we used to say is when, say, a kid got their braces off, we would make sure we told them, hey, this is a very expensive thing. Do not lose this. Now, what are they going to do? They're probably going to lose it. And after hearing that in front of mom, what do they not want to go say? Hey, I lost my retainer. We need to go pay $600 for a replacement. So they simply just don't say anything. Mom thinks they're wearing the retainer. Everything's good. Until, again, you're sitting there at dinner and mom looks over and goes, well, what's going on with that tooth? Well, I haven't been wearing my retainer for 6 months. And then it's a whole thing, and then you have to come in and possibly get braces back on, which, most people don't want to do. So what this does is makes it very convenient and very easy and affordable in a simple way. Hey, mom, I need a replacement retainer. Good. Go on the phone, get one, shows up at the house. This also can help if you're moving places. You can say, hey, I'm going to be here this month. I need it shipped here. So that's, again, the convenience is going to be key with retainers. What we also noticed is people were probably wearing retainers way too long. And I don't mean they were wearing them way too much, but way too long in terms of, had the same retainer for 5, 7, 10, 15 years. Well, if we went back and thought about it, it was us as dentists say, let's make sure you change that toothbrush out every 3 months. And then we give you a retainer and say, yeah, wear it the rest of your life. That doesn't make much sense because the toothbrush is only in your mouth like 2 minutes a couple times a day. And the retainer's in your mouth, supposedly every night for like 6 to 8 hours. So you can clean it, you can do all that, but wear and tear is going to happen. It's going to loosen up. Things are going to crack, break, change. So like the toothbrush, what we recommend is at minimum, you're replacing that retainer every year. Now, again, now that it's digital, it's very affordable, and we can even get you on a subscription. So every year, a new retainer, boom, comes to your house. So you take that old one, you can keep it for backup, but what this does is ensures that you have a good fit. So if you pop it in and it's super tight, okay, well, now you might need to wear it a little bit more to get back to exactly how your teeth were before braces were off. So the newest things in retainers, again, to wrap it up, digital scan allows you to get replacements really easily. Also allows you to get on a subscription type model where we're getting you retainers every year to, one, make sure the fit's good, two, to make sure that they that you're actually wearing them. So what we found is, and a lot of feedback we got was, they would wear the retainer great at the beginning, and then it got worse. Then this nice fancy retainer showed up at their house, and it kind of reminded them, boom, I got to start wearing this thing again. So a little tight, but got them back into place, and everything's good. Now, what do you do if you do wait too long and you order a replacement and it just doesn't fit? Well, you just go down to your orthodontist, and you might have to get another scan, or you have that talk. But essentially, if you do it within a couple weeks, not much is going to change, and you're going to be able to get that movement back from the digital scan. So that's kind of a wrap on retainers. Unfortunately, it hasn't gotten good enough where we can say you never have to wear your retainers. But we do have more convenient ways to getting them and keeping them in your mouth. Now, the last thing I want to touch on are the bonded retainers. Now, we call them bonded. Some people call them permanent. Permanent is a very dangerous word when it comes to the mouth because nothing's really permanent. But the best thing you can do is talk to your orthodontist about this, because sometimes people think it's a hey, if I just wear that, my teeth are never going to shift. Well, that's a terrible way to think about it because they're only on a couple of teeth in the front, and the posterior teeth are also going to want to shift inward. So they're not as noticeable when they shift because the front teeth might go crooked, and it's noticeable. When the back teeth go inward, it's not really noticeable, but it can cause damaging effects on the bite, and then damaging effects on that bonded retainer. Plus, hygiene can be an issue. So we're not saying that they're bad or that we don't do them, but it's case by case. So if your orthodontist or orthodontist says this is what we do on every case, you might want to ask, hey, can I get a little bit of flexibility here? What's going to be best for my case individually? So individualizing that retention protocol like you would be individualizing your treatment is very important. So to wrap it up, we got great new things with retainers, digital scans, no more gunky impressions, lives up in the cloud, can get replacements whenever you want them. If you're thinking about bonded retainers, ask your orthodontist about them and see if they're right for you. But thanks, guys. Stay tuned. We'll have something good next week to talk about, and hope to see you soon. Thanks for listening to the Smiles Ahead podcast, powered by Burrow, Welchel, and Culp Orthodontics. Be sure to leave a rating, hit that subscribe button, and if you have more questions, you can reach out to me directly at sam@bwcortho.com. That's sam@bwcortho.com. You can also visit our website, bwcortho.com, and we will be happy to answer any questions you might have.